Hello everyone, Crazy Fish Farmer here. Just wanted to talk to everybody about this exhaust system that I'm going to make for this generator. Ultimately, I'm going to build a container out of steel after I find out exactly what's going to work and what's not going to work. That'll basically hold our bubbler, that crazy looking shower head looking thing that I created. Alright, so let's say that's a metal container and that's got our where air comes in and then air will come out. Alright, so my goal is to heat that gas up, because what's happening with my bubbler now, it's freezing up. So what we've got to do is heat the air up before it comes into the gas and then when it goes back into the motor. So what I'm thinking about doing, kind of like what I did on the moped, is basically building a long tube exhaust. Alright, make it to where the exhaust comes in one end and comes out the other end. Kind of like a typical exhaust system. But on this one, I'm going to put tubes down on one side of it. Alright, tube on the other side of it. So there you go. Now, out there on the internet, I've been seeing to where they've been putting a rod in the center of this that has a north and a south pole. Definitely going to do that. Don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but it's going to be done on both sides. Alright, so, and let's do an exhaust here. This is going to represent the exhaust, and this is going to be the intake to the motor. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to take the exhaust, run it into here. So all that hot air is going to go through this larger pipe, back out into the air. Then I'm going to take, let's use this side for the intake, come in with air. This is where the air is going to be pulled in. It's going to go through this tube, out and over and into the bubbler. And then this air will come out and back through the exhaust again, over to this end, and then ultimately into the intake. Now, what the effect of the north and south pole, as in, you know, a magnetic rod, I don't have a clue. But I definitely want to experiment with it. I don't know if I want to do that with coils or with a permanent magnet in there, or I don't know, however this design ends up. But I just want to pick everybody's brains out there on this before I start building it, because I haven't started it yet. I've got all the material to get this so far, but it can always be changed. So ultimately we're coming in, or actually exhaust is coming out of the motor into this larger exhaust pipe and then out. Air is being pulled in from the motor through one tube, through that hot exhaust, into the bubbler, back out of the bubbler, back through the exhaust, and into the intake. So any thoughts on this? I'd love to hear it. You know, if you'd like to see me incorporate something into this to experiment with, definitely let me know. Now ultimately, this container that I build for the exhaust will probably be mounted on the exhaust somehow to try to pull some more of that heat. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, years down the road, if I run this a long time, you know, this stuff could start to corrode. So ultimately, if this was designed in a stainless steel, something that would last a long, long time, that would be the best. Same with the bubbler. So there you go. So exhaust coming out into the big exhaust and out. Air being pulled in from the intake through one end of the exhaust, through the bubbler, back out, through another end of the exhaust, and then back into the intake. So any any comments, I'd love to hear it. If you want me to experiment with something when I'm putting it together, then let me know. Then we'll incorporate that into the build. But there you go. Hope that made some sense, and I'm looking forward to hearing from everybody. So definitely, please give me your input. See you next time.